That's a good start. Start with that.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back once again, back live, Leather Pocket, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We have your B final, locked, loaded, ready to rock and roll. My name is Grant, sitting beside Mr. Chris Demers. How are you, Chris?
Doing well, Grant. And yourself?
I'm doing well, as always. Another barn burner of a match, kind of a repeat. I think we've seen this once before.
I wasn't around to see that one, but these two guys are no strangers to each other.
I would agree.
And as with the other matches so far today, this is part of the Fargo Fair match, where the races are determined by the Fargo ratings of the players. In this case, Ben will be racing to 8 and Albert to 7. It looks like Ben has won the toss and will get to break first here. Ben on this table has been having some issues with his break, I've noticed.
He has, yeah. We actually we talked about it while we were outside, and he says this table is just really tough to break on. And he said he got a little bit lucky in that last match against Mike, because Mike's break was just, he was smashing them like King Kong.
Yeah,
making balls, and he said he tried to emulate that, but yeah.
Not working for him. So he played a little bit of a cut break there, and he got the 1 in the side, which is the goal of that cut break, but he's left himself kind of a little bit awkward on the 2.
He has. Juan Mata, how are you, my good man? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. If y'all are just tuning in, you know what to do. Help us out. Smash it. Give it a little love.
Yeah, we've had a pretty consistent audience here so far today.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of get it up there a little bit more.
The more the merrier. It's a chance to watch some good billiards. So.
Yeah, you know what? And I am going to do what I ask everybody to do, and I'll share it myself. Just because I can. I have the technology. Although the last time I tried to share the stream, it wouldn't let me. It didn't give me the option.
So I think Ben here is kind of thinking about whether he wants to play the ball or play a push, and if he does play the ball, where he wants to play it to.
Not letting me share my stream. Interesting.
So it looks like he's going to take it on.
So these guys are battling for a difference of $200. Third place taking home $500. Second place taking home $700. It'll be $950, $700, $950 for the finals.
Good payday no matter how you slice it for the entry fee.
Not a terrible payday for that weekend, that's for sure. A few days of work. You can sign me up for that just about any day of the week.
So Ben did in fact take the push and leave it to Albert. I will think that Albert, with the way that he jumps, will probably take this on.
Either the jump or the kick.
Yeah,
and I know Ben's idea there. He is pushing into the jump shot.
Yeah, with the cue ball getting a little closer to there, I don't think the kick's as easy. You'd have to swerve it to do it. Maybe that's what he's going to do, but I think he'll probably jump it instead.
Puts Ben back in, and I know Ben already had the short stick in his hand, so he was prepared for that. And
yeah, I think at their level, the goal of the push is to try and get back. You don't want to push to a spot where they're going to take it on, because then you've left something that you would want.
Yeah, really well done. Made it look easy.
Jump to the right side of the ball and leaves another jump for Albert, but a longer one.
Yeah, a little more difficult on this one. And I think if I was Albert, I mean, the first guy I saw that really did that with any kind of an intention to push into the jump was actually Stephen Holem when he was here. And he would push to the jump more often than not. You've got to recognize that when a player pushes to the jump, there's an intended reason. So I almost feel like you should take that on.
Yeah, that's a bit of playing the player there, and that's
totally.
Typically something you shouldn't really do, but in this case, with this kind of shot, that's pretty critical. So Albert makes the jump there, but leaves a shot on the 2, although trying to hold for the 3 might be a bit of a challenge. I'd almost want to bring it back to where he is.
Yeah, come back to where he's at and put the 3 in the side pocket. Got to get good. Maybe he's going around.
Well, you might just take it slow, because the 3 to the 4 wasn't good.
3-6 combo looks pretty wired up.
As with any other combo that has any sort of distance, it's not a gimme, but he's probably favored to make it.
Yeah, he hits these well, and if he does make this combination and sticks that cue ball, that 3 ball is going to land somewhere over to the left side down by that.
Unless he makes both.
Oh. How about to perfection?
Yeah.
Does that work?
That was a danger there. If he made them both, he was leaving himself a bad shot on the floor. But that's, that's the risk.
Risk
you take
reward, right?
For sure. It's strange when you are trying to make those shots and make the ball, it never seems to go. When you don't, the pockets seem that much harder, much bigger.
Very nice. Kind of got a little on the wrong side here.
Nah, I think he's fine with that. He's rolling it forward anyway, so that'll just take him up a little bit closer to the side rail.
Got to watch the 9 ball here.
He's going to the 5 on the rail. He doesn't really need to.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, Derek Moore? That is Mr. Chris Demirs on the mic.
Hey, Derek.
Made his debut on Q Sports Live this morning in match number 1, or stream number 1. Now working on 3 under the belt.
Yeah, I'm an old pro now.
A seasoned professional.
Well, I'm old at least.
I think we both got that going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice little pop off the rail. And you're welcome, Derek. Appreciate you tuning in as always. And once again, guys, if you are just tuning in, help us out. Give that share button a little love down on the bottom left-hand side of your screen if you're on Facebook. If you are tuning in on YouTube, you can always copy the stream link, post that out on your social media pages. We would appreciate that. They say the more the merrier. And in that particular quota, I would agree with they.
Especially when you've got such a good quality match is what you're going to see here.
Little live again. We see that a lot. These top rails are playing a little lively when the ball is nearer to the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hitting that one just a little bit funny every now and then, but he should be able to play just a bit of inside on this and then hold it to come across to the other rail.
Mm-hmm. Ben waiting for the traffic behind him to clear out before he gets down on this shot. 4th and back. Looking good to draw first blood is Mr. Francis. Does just that. And you can tell Ben's starting to kind of catch his gear.
Yeah, I've watched him for... This will be his second match I've watched him on today, and he's his break's been a little bit shaky, as he said, with this table, but certainly everything else in his game is hitting with his usual high caliber.
Mm-hmm. Some big announcements coming with Jam Up Apparel, guys. We will have a really big announcement coming. It'll be, I'm going to say Tuesday or Wednesday next week, where if you're a follower on the Jam Up page, you will get firsthand knowledge. One of the biggest announcements in the history of Jam Up Apparel coming up. That'll be Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
And the spinning 2 just rolls the 8 in along with the 1, so... Yeah, Jam Up, it'll be good to see what they have to come up with. I love their clothing. I managed to get my pool team a custom set for it, and they look fantastic.
They are great looking shirts, I gotta say. And I know my opinion's probably biased.
Just a touch.
At least it sounds biased.
We'll go with that. So here, Do you risk running into the 7 and take the forward roll on it, or do you just try and stun it back?
I'm going to draw back. It gives me a little bit more room to play with, even if I come, a little bit short by drawing over to this angle.
Well, with where the 4 goes, you've always got the 3 railers, so that's just fine.
Yeah, nice little shot there.
And I suspect that that's what we'll see is he'll go between the 7 and the 9. Yeah, he's already looking at the connection
3 rails
spots.
around.
They prefer to use more rails rather than less, if at all possible. So.
Guy has a 6.6 rating. Watch out, Ben.
Not a reflection on his demeanor at all.
No. Albert's put a ton of time in. You and I were kind of talking about that off stream where, he's put in a ton of time over the course of the last year. I think his decisions in games have certainly improved. A few more things to work on, but, you compare his game last year to this year and some really good improvement there from Albert.
Yeah, just his Fargo rating and his results in these sorts of tournaments are definitely a testament to that.
Not sure if the 7 passes by the 9 down to the bottom right. I think he's took a step over to the left side of the table to see if he wants to bring this cue ball back down for the 7 into that right-hand side pocket.
I suspect he probably will and just avoid the risk.
Doesn't like it. I like his initial thought to draw over to that right-hand side of the pocket, or right-hand side of the table. But he hit this really well.
Yeah. Almost perfect pace.
Yeah, it touched short, but that's not going to make any difference, neither here nor there.
No, he'll hit it with a touch of left and hold it.
My money is on the shorter one. I would think that they're probably pretty close as far as the height between them.
Yeah. Height certainly not indicative of skill, or else, Grant, you would be a monster.
Yeah, I have a little height behind me, but it does not translate over into the pool game.
Would that it could.
Right? Looking to pad the lead. Nice draw past that left side pocket. Job well done.
And an early 2-0 for Ben in this race.
And we've got the Q&A, CSL IPL Q&A. That'll be myself and Ben live on Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We will go over exactly what is the CSL IPL Q Sports Live International Pool League, what's involved, how do you get involved, how do you play. Anything and everything to do with that league, we'll be going over Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time.
You've been running those Q&As before every session, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, it's just a good Q&A session for anybody that's got any questions and how it all works. You can get your BCA Fargo rating, or BCA sanctioning, your ACS sanctioning, CCS sanctioning, all done through the CSL IPL.
Ooh, that one, the 1 hit the horn on the side this time and shot towards the corner, but didn't get there.
They did play already. They played an A-side match. What game is Div 1 playing this session? It is choice, either 8-ball or 9-ball. Division 1 up until this point has been 10-ball. So we changed that up. So Division 1 will now be playing your choice of either 8-ball or 9-ball. And it will be the open division that switches from 9-ball to 10-ball. And that is to accommodate for the Predator sponsorship, where in the 7-foot and the 8+, so 8 and 9 foot combined, the winners of those divisions will get their, not only the money, but they'll get their entry into the Predator Pro Billiard Series.
That's quite a bit of value for that, I'm sure.
Indeed. Especially in that open division, that is the top. It'll probably be, not that I belong there, but that'll probably be the division that I play in. Gave that 3 a bump.
Probably not enough to cut it in the side. Maybe enough to bank it.
Yeah, I think he's calling that bank shot. 6-6 rating, scary, says Kalen. How are you, Kalen? How are things for you?
He hits those
To
banks
the heart.
really well.
Yeah.
Now, he has an opportunity here with a 4. Does he take it to try and move the 6 a little bit?
I think so. You might see him play into it. I don't think there's really any harm other than perhaps moving the 6 out of the way and being stuck on top of the 7. But I think
got to give it a little
yeah,
pace so he's
kinda
not
like
jacked
that.
up over.
Kind of like that. That's exactly where I said it could go wrong. Kind of wanted to go off the bottom side of the 6 there. Kind of play into that 7 ball so that you're not bridging over top of it.
Yeah, he almost wanted to go into both of them at the same time. But
Yeah, he's going rail first here, I think. Indeed. Does the 7 come into play?
Not at all.
Wow. How good was that?
Yeah, when I grow up, I want to play like that. Yes, Bruce, he did in fact hit that 5 perfect. The number of rails he's able to better control by coming off that rail, but also his shape on this is, from a weight perspective, is pretty good.
Yeah, he's starting to really acclimate to this table.
He is in fact the house pro here at the Leather Pockets, so not only does he know the tables well, but he also uses them a fair bit. For those people in Calgary, that also does mean that he's available if you want to take lessons. They hold them right here at the Leather Pocket.
Yeah, really knowledgeable.
I've done
really good with students.
Yeah, I've done a few with him, and his knowledge is tremendous. He's got a very good teaching style as well. So, not surprised that he can hit these tables good.
Hey, I'm right here.
Nice little stun over shot for the 9 into the bottom left. 9 and 10 both going to the same pocket. Good to hear you're out playing again, Kalen. I knew you had a couple of surgeries that you had to go through. So, of course, we wish you the best in all of those. And it'll be no time. You'll be back beating the heck out of players in no time. Job well done, taking a 3-0 lead.
Well, in this winter break format, you know, every time you get one of those, it gets you another chance to come up and potentially run another rack.
And as Chris alluded to, in that CSL IPL in the league, open to any player around the world. You simply need a pool table or access to one, whether that's a home table or at your local pool hall. We have a division for every skill level. And I'll tell you, if you're heading off to Vegas or any of the World Championships or bigger tournaments that you want to prepare for, you'll find that will get your game tuned up and be in the position, or put you in the position that you want to be in order to be competitive in the live play. That will help you get there. It's like taking a lesson from a personal ATM. I thought 7 had a chance of making it, but it does leave a shot open on the 1 ball. However, hampered on the rail. Be shooting off the beach.
Yeah, I think I think we're going to take a quick timeout here.
I think so. I think you are correct. Albert exercising his I need to go and stop the momentum bathroom break. Okay, John, we appreciate that. I'm sure Chris does as well. It's always reassuring to get those positive notes when it's your first time on the microphone.
For sure. You never know whether or not you're good for this or not, or how it's going to turn out. So I appreciate the well wishes and the thank yous.
Yeah, you've done really well, and like we knew you would. At least Albert isn't wearing his usual socks and sandals. That is true. I think the best example of that was Edwin Montel. Edwin at what's it called? North Dakota. How do I forget this?
Forebears?
Forebears, yeah. Hadn't picked up a cue in years. Goes to the Forebears in flip-flops and sandals. And every time he broke, you know how he flipped his leg? You could hear that sandal flap against the cement floor. It was just the funniest thing. But ended up taking, I think, 3rd place after not picking up a cue for 4 years.
You talk about people that have such a strong and natural game.
Talent, yeah.
Him and the other one who I see a lot is whenever I see Stan play, you always know it's going to be a
Stan
great
Tarangelo.
match. Yeah. I love watching him play.
I've only ever played him once. That was at the CSL Invitational, where we added the 10K. And I had my chances against Stan. I probably should have won that match, but he grinds like nobody I've ever met in my life.
I haven't had the pleasure to play against him. I played against his brother once or twice, but his brother Phil. And but definitely he's such a pleasure to watch.
He is.
And such an affable and humble sort of guy. Like always a nice word. And I have talked with him once or twice, and he seems like, just the epitome of what a pool player should be.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. And you know what, Brad? I would mirror that sentiment. The comment on YouTube, not a big fan of him laying his cue on the table like that.
Yeah, we talked about this in a prior stream here that it's typically considered to be inappropriate, and certainly when the match is in play, as opposed to just taking a break. But I would recommend against it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little jump from Ben, though, but he's left himself a bit of a long one on the 2, although he's brought the 3 back into play.
Derek says Brady was a beast, very nice. And I'm assuming, Derek, you're talking about Brady Golan, another monster on a 9-foot table. And super nice guy as well, so I would have to agree with your statement, Mr. Derek. James is asking, what's the temperature here? I would have to say we're probably 10 above.
Somewhere in there. We've had extremely good weather, and the forecast for February is actually surprisingly warm compared to usual years.
I've got to double check. Somehow I find it so hard to believe that you say that, because I am not a fan of the cold weather. I think I mentioned it yesterday on the stream that somebody messed up the purchase order when I was born, and I was more meant for southern weather. Well, I have to wait for the commercial to end. Tuesday, Wednesday are not looking so good. But then after that, holy cow. Dang.
Yeah, unseasonably warm.
I love it. That's so perfect.
My wife was telling me that we
Bring
got our
it.
cold snap in December, and that we're not going to see it again. So I'm a buyer.
Well, listen, if we never have to get down to minus 40 again this year, I'm all for it. Nice little weighted shot there from
I think
Albert.
he's left the window if I can see it from outside here. I think it's
Is there that gap between that 10-4?
enough to hit it. Yes, enough to make it. I'm not sure.
Does Ben go for the cross side two-way? Send that two cross side to the right side pocket, cue ball up and down, utilizing the 10-4 as a potential hider.
Kind of looking at it, I suspect he's going to try and play it safe. I don't know if he's going to take the cross bank, just because you're going to be leaving the cue ball moving a bit hard. Oh, or if there's room, you just put it right in.
Gives a little bit of a shake of the head. Wanted to avoid that 5 ball, but all in all, given the position he was in, not a terrible outcome. Have to smooth out one of these shots that he's so very good at making.
The only thing that's left here is, if he makes this, is the 7 to the 8.
Yeah, that's a tester. Not anymore.
She is navigated. I don't think that was intended, but he'll take it.
He will absolutely take it.
I think he just wanted to come to the center of the table. He wasn't envisioning hitting the 9 and sending himself back as far.
Well, you know, Chris, I'm so happy you made me look at that. 2 days of cold. I can deal with 2 days of cold. And then we're back up into the pluses. I really like it.
I'm here for you, buddy.
You made my day, buddy. You're allowed back on this stream anytime.
Fantastic. Well, if that's all it took.
That's all it takes. I'm easy. And let it go. No need to elaborate.
So this is a bit of a challenge shot here. So it's, I'm guessing what will happen is that he's going to try and take it 2 rails in order to get himself in line for it, because there is a bit of a window issue with the 6. He shouldn't have too much of a problem with it. He'll probably hit up between the 2nd and 3rd diamond on the left rail.
That would be ideal. Come back and just kind of play the natural shape into that line.
Or he's just going to take it with 1.
That'll work.
The risk is... Oh, he's fine, but the risk was always overrunning it just a touch.
Yes.
Typically, they'll take more rails in order to be able to control that rock a bit better, but he's good there.
Makes it a little bit tricky on this 7 ball. Right, if you try to go underneath, it brings in the 10. If you go over top, it brings in the 9 ball.
I think he's looking at bringing the cue ball right out through the 9-10 the way he goes in.
Well, and there's really no issue in if you hit the 10 full in the face, right?
Well, I think he wants to try and bring it out and come a full rail back so that he's just a little bit to the right side of center so that he can hit the 7 with kill.
There was the issue. But still not terrible. We'll see whether he just kind of floats this in or whether he tries to power this in with 3 rails.
Knowing Ben, I think he's probably going to look at taking it 3 rails.
Yeah, he likes to give it the be sure.
Well, and the 9 comes into play only a little bit. I think he comes underneath it.
Yeah, with inside left-hand spin, I think he avoids that 9. He's looking like he's drawing this.
It does. But the risk of draw is that you get a bit of a skid. And that's going to leave Albert the opening that I think he's been desperately needing here.
And I find with those kind of off-angle shots like that, where you got to punch the ball in, whether you're going forward or back, they will typically hang up more so on the draw than they follow.
Very much so. So now he should be able to kill this, leaving himself a long one down the rail to the corner, but not really a tough one.
Killed that nicely. Same type of shot here.
But he doesn't really have to do anything with it. He can kind of even just let it roll forward if he wants.
Whoops.
Oh, he cut that a little bit too much.
Whoops. And you know, I think that's a result of kind of sitting in your chair for 3 games.
Well, the other thing is
Not
that
really getting into stroke or into a rhythm, right?
yeah, when you hit those ones softer and you're going across, it has a tendency of pushing it to the rail a little bit more. So you got to play it out a little bit. So I suspect that might have been the case.
Well, I think that's
As you say, he's
we're
in his chair a
making
bit.
we're making the same point there.
Yep, he's in his chair, so he's just, normally I would think he would just punch that with a bit of forward, and he's
Yeah,
not thinking
put the
about
actual stroke on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben kind of caught this a little bit funny as well.
I think he's just going to just roll it forward, probably about
That's
a diamond and a
exactly-
half, and just
yeah.
take a tough shot.
That's exactly what he's looking at. Don't do more than what you need to.
Yeah. Take something with no risk and give yourself just a shot at it.
It looks like a snooker table with Ben shooting. Yeah, object in mirror may not be actual size.
And Ben takes a strong 4-0 lead, putting him halfway home.
Yeah, Albert's in a little bit tough here. He's going to have to find a way to slow the roll of Mr. Francis. Right, but the deeper he gets, the harder that's going to be because he's sitting in his chair for however long. The odd time, pop up, make a single shot or kick at a shot or whatever. But
This is the time where if there needs to be a momentum shift, it has to come now.
yeah, nice little factoid there from Warren regarding Brady. Brady at the World Amateur Championships had so many centuries they had to add more room to record them on the scoreboard. Interesting little factoid. Ben trying to get his break working. You can't tell if there's the window between that 6-9 to make a hit on the one, or at least a kick on the one.
I suspect he has an edge on it. It's if he doesn't, then doing the hit and stick doesn't really work because it's pushing it to an open area. But he
Look at
managed to
this
get
kick
the high side
right
of
up behind
it.
that 10 ball.
That's a good shot.
That is a really good shot.
Although I think
Ben's
Ben-
got the edge.
Yeah, he's got the edge of it. In which case, he'll probably just kind of push it to the rail and push the cue ball up towards the center coming off two rails. So
I think if he's got enough to hit, he's got enough to make.
he might take it on. I don't
Cue
see
ball, cue ball's favorable.
I don't see a lot of reward on it though.
Well, the 2-3 might be wired up. So if he can make that one ball, two rails and shoot out between the 4-9.
Well,
I don't mind the attempt at the take. You're up 4-0, right? Ben's got that aggressive style game.
Sure. All I'm thinking here is just that you're hitting it so thin that you might come up towards the 6 or the 9 and put yourself in jail. He hit it at a good pace, though.
He did. He got away with it a little bit with the bump on the 9 ball, but
Yeah, I think if he
no
hits
risk,
the,
no reward, right?
I think if he hits the 6 first there, then it's a much different result.
Oh, I agree. But he hit it with good enough pace. Even if he bumps into the 6, I think he kind of floats to the left side of the table, and maybe he's even in a better position.
That's what these stronger players do. They make sure to moderate their pace to make sure that they leave themselves the best opportunity. So.
2-4 could be a little bit tricky here. I think the 2 ball is frozen. The cue ball is just off the rail. Can you float this enough to kind of float between that 4-6 and just enough to put the 4 to the left side pocket?
I think you almost use the 6 as a stopper. Because if you he
How perfect.
just got
Hey, how perfect was that? Dang, they're like I drew it up.
that. Yeah. Howie Meeker get the pens out.
Right? And I think depending on the angle he has here, just draw back off that right side rail underneath the 7 for the 5 ball.
Yeah, I like that better because it gives you a better angle from the 5 to the 6.
Is Ben still using the thumper brake cure? Have you guys switched it up now since no longer available, it seems? Yeah, it's too bad because that thumper was a really good brake cue. And the jump on it was crazy. But, with what happened there, I've switched. I've gone over to I've gone over to Predator fully for everything that I have. With exception of my jump.
Well,
my jump is still the IQ.
There's always that new air rush that's out.
I know it's coming. we have a few of them coming on at some point this week, actually.
They're pricey, but
have you hit with one?
Yeah, when I was down at BCA, they had them there for people to try out, and yeah, the hit on them is effortless. It was amazing.
Disgusting.
Even for the longer jumps, right? Like my challenge has always been with the longer jumps, and with that cue, you were going through it so easily and coming out so well with accuracy that it was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It's a pricey cue, but you get what you pay for on those.
I think that's pretty true with everything Predator. You'll get what you pay for, no matter what. Whether it's, cues, balls, jump cues, whatever.
Well, I use an Air 2 right now, and I absolutely love it. But, that rush it's tempting me.
I really like it. So Ben's still playing with Jacoby at this point. I know he's looking at making the switch over to Predator as well.
Well, and even with the Jacoby, it looks like he's in the driver's seat here.
Sure does. Commanding lead. Very commanding lead for Mr. Francis. And we'll give a shout out to one of the other sponsors of our stream. It is JB Cases, the protection your cue deserves, the design you desire. If you didn't know, you can go on to jbcases.com, design your own case, or buy one that's in stock. In either case, comes with a lifetime warranty, unheard of in the billiards industry. It is the single piece of equipment I will not switch.
Same here. I have one myself. I actually went out of my way to get one. Just for the quality, as well as the backpack straps on it. I find if you're going to tournaments and coming around, it's absolutely a godsend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at the traveling player, and I mean, we've certainly done our fair share of traveling with Q Sports Live. Having that protection guarantee on the cues inside the case, he warrants the cues as well as the case.
Yeah, who does
that? So that everybody is aware. It doesn't matter what the cue is. If it gets damaged while it's inside the JB case, he warrants that cue.
That's an unheard of warranty. That's basically saying that you get insurance on your car and it's going to cover your entire contents.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't even argue with that, Tyler. If I had to choose, I did go to the Revo because they've got that extra 1 inch on the shaft. The one aspect of the Jacoby that I really, really liked was that pro taper. That was the biggest selling point for me on the Jacoby. We still do deal with Jacoby. That was the biggest selling point. But when I decided to make the switch, it was simply because of that extra 1 inch on the shaft. And after playing with it, the hit seems to be a little bit more consistent, if that makes sense.
Wow, just coming back here, Albert just made a fantastic shot on the 1 coming around 3 rails.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really, really tricky shot to leave him on the 2. I was thinking he was going to have a tough time.
2 to the 3 ball as a combination again.
Not great because it's a tight window, and even if it goes, being able to get to the 2 after is going to be a bit of a challenge.
I think he just has to play this cue, just off the side rail, but you gotta you gotta cut the 2 ball.
Well, he was playing to make sure that the cue ball came out far enough if he made it, but the problem with that is that a lot of times when you do that, you miss it.
Mm-hmm. So Ben says, I don't mind if I do. I'll even play the time saver.
Takes the double trouble so that you can go right to the 4.
Indeed, sir. 4 to the 7 could get a little tricky.
Well, given where the 7 is right now in the 8, he almost backs it up and puts the 7 in the side, I think. Or he can put it long if he takes it farther.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they warrant the cue. So even if it's a one of, custom cue, get him a receipt if it ever gets damaged inside that JB case. You do have to prove it, right? You have to prove that it was damaged well inside the JB case, but I've hucked mine across the room. Not out of temper, out of just showing.
I was going to ask.
I didn't get mad and huck my cues, but I wanted to make a point, right? And that was early on when, oh, wow, Albert just gives that one up. I did want to make the point while I was, promoting the JB cases that they do stand up to the abuse. And so I had my cues in it, and I just hucked it across the room.
Mm-hmm. And he has so many different styles and colors. Like it's hard to not find one that you're going to like.
Yeah, and you're correct, Tyler. The Revo is a little bit more stiff than what the Jacoby Black is. So certainly the Jacoby Black does give you a little bit better of a feel on the cue ball. The transfer of power is a little bit better on the Revo, but you're 100% correct. Mr. Peter Robinson, how are you, sir? My man from down under tuning in. Adelaide, Australia in the house. Welcome back, sir. Appreciate you as always. For those that are just tuning in, my name is Grant. I'm sitting beside the one and only Mr. Chris Demers. I'm simply part of the furniture, part of the woodwork.
I'm the fancy upholstery today, so.
Touché, sir. Touché.
So Ben's been having some definite troubles with his break, even though he's winning all these games. He's definitely struggling with it. And, for this match, he's solidly in control, but it's going to be a challenge playing Joe in the final if he makes it.
It will be, but I mean, Joe was having some troubles there with his break. So it'll be a battle of the breaks between Joe and Ben. Should Ben close this one out?
Well,
based on score line, you got to favor Ben.
I would think so. And Ben's moved to that cut break. It's just going to be a question of who makes the better adjustments, both for the break and, both of their games are so strong.
Hey, thanks, Peter. I appreciate it.
Please don't take my upholstery comment to take anything away from Grant here. I've watched and heard him do his commentary here, and it's been nothing short of spectacular.
Oh, you're making me blush, Chris.
Oh, gets away with one there, I think.
Sure did. He left some distance between that cue ball, 2 ball. Shooting out of the pocket, no easy task.
No, and you can't really go for this 2 either, because if you do, you've got nothing on the 3. Maybe take it to the center of the table and then try a safety coming off the rail. I don't know.
Here's I think the shot that I would try is go across the face of the 2, send it like a bank shot. Oh, he dug down trying to nail it. But I would have played across the face of the 2, send the 2 back down towards the 9 ball, and just go into the 4-3 with the cue ball, right? You might get lucky where the 4 grazes off the top side of 3 off the side rail back out. Kind of hides the cue ball a little bit.
Yeah, at this point you got to try and make something happen here and try and shift the momentum. So even just shoving it into a pack and hoping you get lucky here, because otherwise,
look out.
Well, I suspect he can see it.
I kind of think that's perfect.
I don't think he's going to play it.
I think he's playing it.
You think he's going to play that?
100%. He'll hit this with a little bit of left-hand spinach, just like that.
Yeah, I guess when you're 6-0 up, you can take a few liberties here. So Randy, to your point there, I was a little curious about that as well, where the difference in Fargo rating only translated to one game. It may just be that it's at the top of the range that would translate it to 2 games. I'm not really sure.
I think the algorithms behind the Fargo fair match is with the lower Fargos, it's about a 1 in 40 point difference. But as you go up through the higher ranges, kind of get to that mid-level, then into those higher ranges, that point spread is a little bit more.
So here he's on the 5. 6-0 up. I'd almost call the 10. You're not going to cut the 5 in the side, and if you hit the 10 and you're going to go back down towards the 8, you'll play it safe. So you can kind of play it as like a 2-way here.
Yeah,
but I think he's going to take it the other way. He might just play it safe by pushing the 5 to the
I don't know. I think
round.
he'll see your shot, I think.
I think he's planning on playing it. Oh,
How
there's
how
room.
about just put it in a pocket? Not going to like the result, though.
No.
Not going to like the result. Does he get to see the edge of 6? He does. He sees the edge of the 6, so this is going to work in his favor. Because if he takes that shot on and overcuts it into that right side rail, it's more or less just going to hit and sit behind that 8 ball.
Well, he'll hit the 10.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this.
Again,
just spearing him in. Don't matter where he's from.
Yeah.
Spear him in. Tough bank shot. This is tough to get the cue ball out of the way without the double kiss.
You start making a few circus shots, and you just got to keep making them.
Well, this we alluded to that, earlier. Once you get out of shape in a rotation game, you kind of chase your tail after.
Yeah, he's just playing this for weight.
Yeah, good shot.
Well, he's left a comeback safe where you can just hit and roll it forward half a ball and send the 7-ball up table.
Will I be streaming the Rob Dayton match? I don't know that there is a Rob Dayton match. I don't know what you're alluding to. We haven't heard. Fill us in.
I think I saw earlier he was offering a match to someone where he was doing either 1 or 2 sets for 500.
Yeah, he was getting on Romeo, I believe. Boyette Damasco.
But I think we'll probably be doing this in the final first.
Yeah. And I don't know if they particularly want that streamed. I have no idea. It hasn't been a topic of conversation. Well, a nice separating safety there for Albert. Doesn't allow Ben to do a whole lot with this.
Well, it's one of those things when you're taking a safety on, you got to think about, can he leave me something even worse? I'm thinking he almost might take the side of and either just play it back to the other side, or if he had felt a little bit more Randy, maybe trying to put it behind the 8. This is a good one though because of the 9.
But can Albert go off the rail first and just hit with some left spin?
Can, but that's going to drive it back towards.
Well, he saw it full.
Oh,
He
however,
saw it full.
I don't think that's going to help him.
Nope. I think that's just a smooth in with some left-hand spin from Ben there, and more or less stick to that left side of the table.
Yeah, I don't even think he has to do anything with it. Just with the gap that he's got there, he can just roll it just dead straight.
Brackets are on challenge, Gordon. I don't have the exact link, but maybe Steph can find that link and post it on the comments.
Coming out perfectly.
Well, this will put him on the hill.
Well, and leave a mountain to climb right now.
Yeah, he's in tough. However, I have seen Ben Francis himself come back from a deficit like this, down 8-2, and he came back to win in a race to 9. Believe it or not, that was against Eric Vargas.
Oh my word!
Yeah,
that's not something that you would expect, but stranger things have happened for sure.
No. So it depends. I mean, Ben's not that type. He's going to keep his foot on the gas.
Yeah, he never gives an inch, and
No.
that's something that's such a strong thing about his game is that he's always in every racket with focus. He never loses it.
Well, and he never gives up. Don't matter what the score is, and he has that same mentality. I just need to win this game. Get into the next game. There is the brackets, Gordon. And we'll pin that.
See if he tries a different break right now, if he stays with that cut break.
Well, the cut break gave him a ball.
It didn't in the last two.
Oh, he's going to make a ball here.
Yeah,
Not the one that he wants.
Well, but he got a little bit fortunate in that the 2 and 3 are a little bit tied up, although I suspect he can probably, with ball in hand, take this one to the top right and just draw back to take the 2 in the same pocket.
I agree. Yep. He certainly got the game for it, Albert does.
I think the only thing that I see is a challenge here.
Oh, look out.
Oh, what did he do there?
Wow.
Too much stun, not enough draw.
And you know what? It's kind of one of those things in pool where, you know, you kind of get into that rhythm of not playing your best pool, and it's almost like quicksand. It just keeps pulling on you, tugging on you, and it's going to test you mentally.
It is. These are the challenges that really do define you. So the big challenge here, I think, is getting from the 4 to the 5, since it really only has a couple of pockets. If he gets to the left side of the 4, he might be able to draw it underneath to the right rail and be able to put the 5 either in the side or the corner.
Well, does the 5 go past that 8 ball?
I don't think so, and I think that's why he's a little bit concerned about being.
Must go past the 9. He just looked to draw back to that left bottom side rail there.
That seems plan B-ish to me, but sometimes plan B is the better plan.
Just like this. Might have to do exactly the same thing. Straight draw back to where he's at right now. So long as the 5 does indeed go past the 9. Didn't think that cue ball was going to drop. Yeah, it's it's kind of, sometimes can be like quicksand when you're not playing your best pool.
Yeah, and he just decided to take it softly and take his lumps here.
Yeah, I like that. Makes getting to the 7 ball fairly natural. A couple of obstacles to avoid.
Well, I think he was just evaluating whether the drawback from the 5 or the shot on the 6 is the harder shot, and then just taking the easier one. And he pushes his way through both of them to give him a shot on the 7. That's a good shot.
Nicely done on the draw. Brings it back up half table.
Just 3 balls for the whitewash.
Yeah, and it's pretty much just kind of the hit stick. You want to pop it off the rail a little bit.
Yeah, he'll probably just draw back a little bit to either put it in the side or take it up towards the top left.
Kind of got on the 50-yard line a little bit.
He should still be fine here. He's got enough to take it to the side and move it to, you know, at least the bottom half of the table, and he should be good.
We'll see if Ben can hold it together. Close escrow on this match.
I think he's probably just play a bit of right on it, have it come up and then come off the right rail. No, he'll take it the other way.
Oh my goodness. just catches that point on that side pocket. We'll see if Albert's still got the life in him in the battle. Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah.
Nice control.
Well, and to keep from the whitewash, just push this 10 in. And there he is. The whitewash is averted.
Wow. Does that bring a little bit of spark into Albert's game?
Certainly can't hurt.
Certainly better than the whitewash.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, I mean, again, right? Same mentality. Just win this one. Don't worry about having to win 7 or 6 games or whatever. Just win the next one.
Climbing a big mountain, you just look at the first rock in front of you.
Well, it's the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
I wouldn't even know how to cook it. And
look at this. 5-ball needs to get out of the way.
well, and you know what? This is where I look at this and I'm going, I'm down 7-1. I need to have something happen to build some momentum. Maybe you hit the 2 with some pace and try and draw
over for the 3.
Draw and make the 3 and give yourself a shot. That's one of those shots that, you know, you make that, give yourself a little bit of confidence and maybe try and build on it from there.
Problem is if you don't hit that, there is a good chance you're selling out there.
Sure.
Right? But again, I've said it before. You got to live by the sword, you die by the sword.
You're at 7-1.
Yeah. You got to make something happen.
Yeah. If you play a safety and lose it, then you'll be kicking yourself later. And he played a good one.
He did. I think there's a window between the 10-6 for him to get a hit on the 2, though.
Just looking off camera here and at the table, I don't know that he can, like he could potentially swerve it, but I think he probably will hop it over and see if he can make the 3 off the 2.
Yeah, if he's got to hop a little bit over the 6-ball, it's a fairly decent jump shot. Right? I won't say it's difficult.
Well, and he's going to use a full cue here.
Yeah. This is that thumper that, look at this. Look at this.
Like it had eyes.
Right? That is the thumper that I can't remember who alluded to Ben using it. Still full cue thumper action right there.
Well, and he's left himself a cut into the bottom right. He can just take it to the rail and with a little bit of right spin, hold it back out.
Might be a little far on that right side of that 2-ball for that back cut.
I don't know. I've taken these ones on. Yeah, you're stroking it a little bit, but the 4 is really in the center of the table, so you're not going to kill yourself.
Well, and there's potential with the amount of right-hand spin you put on that. You're hitting really thin into that 2-ball to go into that left side rail and go back directly into that right side pocket. I've seen it. I've done it.
Well, he's decided to go safe.
Yeah, nice shot. This is the 7 to duck and cover. We'll see what Albert can manufacture here.
Oh, he's got to have it hold up. No.
Well, he gets the hit, but no reward. Like they say, no good shot goes unpunished. So this will give Ben a good look to climb over that hill, close escrow.
Yeah.
Get himself a spot in the finals.
He doesn't really have to do anything here.
No.
The natural shape will just take him right to where he can get to the 4.
It is what you're playing for. And some nice angle on the 4 can draw just on the top side of that left side pocket for the 5-ball into the right-hand side. Didn't even need the rail. Could just straight draw it over. And I just like the float forward here. Float forward, 6 to the bottom left. Sits you in perfect on the 7 ball.
Yeah, just natural shape shots where you don't actually have to try and maneuver the cue ball too much.
Yeah, you don't have to do really anything with it.
Nope. And this is one where, you know, I've seen a lot of amateur or lower players. They'll try and hit it slowly in order to not hit the rail, and then they'll end up getting awkward on it or be right on the rail. And you see the better players, they'll make sure they go into the rail and deliberately do it so that they have the right ability to be off the rail.
Yep. Good call, sir.
Thanks.
You must have played this game before.
Once.
And really, again, not a lot to do here. Might put some right-hand check siding on this shot. Come off that left rail. Back out for the 8 ball. Top left-hand corner, 2 rails around for the 10 to the bottom right.
I would favor him to be out here.
Yeah, sign a contract, close the escrow.
Yeah, and you know Joe's in the wings waiting, so.
Yeah, he'll need a little bit, so we might be. Oh, he came out a little bit farther than I thought.
He'll just draw it straight back. And
yep, that nice little touch draw. Doesn't have to go back very far, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot.
Yeah, he'll prefer to stay the high side and make sure that he stays a little bit higher rather than risk 50-yard lining himself.
Yep. So Joe will probably want a few minutes to get reacquainted with the table.
Yeah, he's been waiting for a while, so.
Oh my goodness.
Or he could just put it dead straight and then it's not an issue.
Well overdrew that compared to what I thought he was going to do, but it ended off well for him. So to close escrow on the match, Ben Francis to go 8-1 over Albert. 10 ball to make it happen. To the heart of the pocket it goes.
There's your winner.
Congratulations to Ben Francis. On to the finals against his teammate, Mr. Joe Spence.
And congratulations to Albert as well. He played a really good tournament, taking home 3rd place. And how much money is he taking for that?
$500. Oof. Can't feel too bad for a guy who's taken home the cheddar of $500.
You know, he'll want to have played a bit better in this match. I know he'll be thinking about some of those shots, but taking home $500 for his weekend efforts, he'll be happy with that.
That makes licking the wounds a little easier to do that with $500.
For sure.
With that being said, we'll do a quick shutdown, restart, get it locked, loaded, ready to rock and roll for you. Don't go far. We got the finals up next. On behalf of myself, Chris Demers, and the rest of the Q Sports Live team, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back here in a few.